Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Oh ja, wie ich das habe. Ich freue mich sehr drauf, es wieder zu tun. Diesmal in der Ultra Deluxe Version. Äh, okay. Please enter the current time. Es ist. For fuck's sake. Amerikanisches Zeitformat. Ich hasse es. Ich nehme es gerade auf um 13:15 Uhr. Könnte sich das nicht vom System hören? Anyways. Hallöchen. Willkommen zurück zu The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Es ist die Remastered Version von Stanley Parable, das ich ja erst ziemlich letztens Let's Played habe. Es ist ein Remaster, wie man unschwer sehen kann, glaube ich. Es ist ein bisschen neuer Content drinnen und es ist am 27.04. rausgekommen, weil man wieder mal amerikanisches Format, das Shit ist, aber existiert leider, ist es 427. Ja, die haben dieses Datum gut ausgesucht. Und ja, ich muss kurz die Einstellungen. Oh, die Einstellungen haben sich geändert. Nett. Audio, ja. Audio, ja. Ich hoffe, es ist nicht zu laut. Resolution, ja, das sollte so passen. Nein, Resync habe ich nicht gemacht. Resync mache ich aus. Controls, WASD, Space E. Seit wann kann man springen in diesem Game? Das ist cursed. Okay. Okay, dann fangen wir mal an. Ich bin sehr hyped drauf. The end is never the end. Is never the end. This loading never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ja, die Transition ist wesentlich smoother geworden. I hate Mondays, das existiert immer noch. So als Engine, wie sie leibt und lebt.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wo ist der erste Input? Ich will gleich mal vorbereiten auf das Ending. Ich werde es mal wieder so machen, dass ich mal erstmal komplett durchspiele, um zu schauen, ob sich irgendwas geändert hat. Im normalen Pass.
He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here.
Oh ja, diese Präsentation, ich liebe
Feeling
sie.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Oh nein. Ah nein. Ja, ich lasse mal.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Also ich glaube, man merkt auf jeden Fall schon mal, wie sich die Grafik verbessert hat. Hier rein. Rein. Oh yes, dieser Raum.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Oh, das mache ich hier zu.
Amazing. He
ist
stepped
geändert,
into the newly
glaube ich.
opened passageway.
Ziemlich sicher, dass sich das geändert hat. Aber passt nicht. Ist moodier geworden. Das ist gut.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ja, das hat sich grafisch
Stanley
sehr
walked straight
verbessert.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ah, yes, Escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ja, trotzdem nicht springen. So ist es ja nicht.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Screenshot. Wo bin ich?
Each
Bin
bore
ich.
the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them,
okay.
eternally monitored in this place where freedom and
Nach weg hier. Okay. Lol.
this mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been
Den
under
Feiertypen
someone's
da oben auch
control
geil.
all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Kurzer Lag. Space ist. Ja, es ist Achievement noch. Sehr schön. Das sieht man jetzt zwar nicht, weil ich nur das Fenster aufnehme und nicht meinen gesamten Bildschirm. Aber ich habe ein Achievement bekommen, das sagt, you can jump. Ich habe außerdem Jesus Christ, mein OBS fängt an zu blanken. Ein Achievement, das nennt sich Achievement. Get your first Achievement. Ach yes. Stanley Parable. Ja, es gibt das Ziel noch. Perfekt. Das habe ich im ersten Playthrough nämlich nicht gezeigt. In der Zeit öffnen sich die Türen hier nämlich wieder. Und man kann hier nach hinten gehen. Und kann hier nochmal drauf drücken. Das hat immer auch existiert. Ja. Es ist so toll. Ich kann das nicht ernst nehmen, wenn die Musik weiter spielt.
Someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terror power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ich weiß nicht, ob das mein OBS ist, das oder ob das einfach nur Stanley ist, wie es jetzt mehr Grafik braucht. Ich kann vielleicht versuchen, nach dem Playthrough mal kurz die Grafikeinstellung ein bisschen runterzuschrauben. So gut ist meine Grafik eigentlich nicht.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. Das ist doch schön. Okay. Uhr macht er auf. Okay. Ganz kurz. Video. Gibt es hier nirgendwo... Ich will eigentlich immer das Ending.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the... But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Ja, okay, es ist OBS, das da ein bisschen reinfuckt. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So. Ah, yes, awaiting input. Das ist fürs nächste Mal dann.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Bäume.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh wait, ich brauche ein Wallpaper davon. Danke Steam für den Delay. So, jetzt. Ich will wissen, ob er Minecraft geupdatet hat.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that this has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know how to convince you this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Ja, wie gesagt, sorry, dass OBS so ist, wie es ist. Anyways, auch hier brauche ich ein Wallpaper. Das Lighting ist so viel besser in diesem Game. Original.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nö.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You give me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Nö.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some.
Mal schauen, ob es jetzt besser läuft.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
98,9% der Spiele sind attraktiver als Stanley. Ich find's auch so geil, dass 9326 einfach Mussolini war. Okay. Kaputt.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Something's wrong?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Wow.
What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Geil.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted
ich habe Far Cry nicht gespielt, aber ich kenn's vom Sehen. Ich glaube,
yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Warum sind das Minecraft-Songs gerade gewesen? Gut, dass ich...
Oh, no, it can't be.
Warum gibt es gleichzeitig Team Fortress? Oh. Warum gibt es gleichzeitig...
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh my God!
Wonderful. This is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ich kann trotzdem nicht springen, by the way. Obwohl es eine Option habe. Bonk. Oh nein. Muss ich jetzt Rocket League, aber ohne Rocket. Ich habe kein Gefühl für Rocket League. Ich habe nie Rocket League gespielt.
Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Ja, es ist definitiv besser.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh nein. Okay, was passiert?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Wenn ich sehen kann. Kann ich? Ja, ich kann.
What are you doing?
Yeah, here we are again.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Mhm. Hm. Jetzt gerade sauber sind die Einheit, wo ich arbeite. Also, wo Sandy arbeitet. Und das ist auch Büronummer 427, wenn ihr das sehen könnt. Soll es aussehen?
I wonder what he found.
Ja.
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. Dann würde ich sagen, das war's für die heutige Folge. Es hat Änderungen gegeben und ich finde sie sehr gut. Auch wenn Minecraft entfernt wurde, das ist sad, aber Rocket League und wie gesagt, ich glaube das andere war Far Cry. Keine Ahnung, ich spiele nicht so viele Games, aber hat wie Far Cry ausgesehen, was ich so gesehen habe von Far Cry. Ja, ich finde die Änderungen, wie gesagt, sehr gut. Warum wiederhole ich mich? Anyways, falls es euch gefallen hat, lasst ein Like und ein Abo da. Das kommt jetzt heute als Überraschungsvideo. Ja, Mittwoch kommt wieder Black Mesa, wahrscheinlich am Freitag kommt noch mal, weil ich Bock auf dieses Game. Ja, und sobald ich dann, wahrscheinlich kommt dann, sobald ich mit dem Game durch bin, wieder Sky Factory. Ja. Ja, bis zum nächsten Mal und ciao.